Welcome back to the PSN Commanders Network, Ultimate Protest Sports Network. Your boy Tone here, Tech, and we're back with another video. Fighting to a great God, Father God, so God open doors and paving ways for all the people in the Lord's increments. Today's video here about the Washington Commanders. Before I get too far into it, quick verse of the day or slash chapter of the day. I'll go read Psalm 139. Shout out to Caleb Gordon. He has a song about that. Go check that song out on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, wherever you get your music from. Go check that out. What's that iTunes? So you know what's I am. So you know I'm kind of old, y'all. But yeah, man. Let's get right into today's upload. So I want to talk about camp battles, man. This is episode 1 of the camp battle series I have on the channel. I'm gonna do the top 5 camp battles I already talked about in another video. That's a separate video that I gave you the top 5. But this time on the display each battle in a much more distinctive manner. And we'll talk about who I think is going to win the battle, and who I think who should win the battle, and why, and things of that nature. So this one is for left tackle. This is a huge one. It's one of the biggest positions on a football team. You know, we go from the quarterback, it throws the ball, slings the thing, throw touchdown pass, listen, he's a glorified, uh, golden child on the football team to the guy that blocks for the quarterback, which is the left tackle most of the time. He's guarding the blind side of said quarterback, so that's the second most important position. Unless you are Tua Tagovailoa and you're left-handed, so you have a right tackle with the most important position on your offensive line. But for most guys, they're right-handed, so you know the blind side is the left side. So this is the most important position. So this is probably the most important camp battle that we have this year in camp this season for the 2024 NFL season. So on the left, I have 6'5", 315-pound left tackle from Texas Christian University, the rookie, Brandon Coleman, which was the 67th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Played left tackle, right tackle, both guard positions at the collegiate level at Texas Christian University. Very versatile lineman here. But he played most of his snaps last year at left tackle and looked pretty darn solid. Wasn't great, but he was pretty darn good. Most cases, got good movement skills. The RAS scores are very, very high. Extremely athletic offensive lineman here. Can get to the second level. Can beat up linebackers, things of that nature. And he's very nimble on screens and things of that nature and pulls and stuff like that. So he's a very athletic offensive lineman, which helps you with these outside runs, these zones. I say these screen passes, things of that nature. When you're trying to get your running backs and wide receivers in space, he will help you out with that a lot, and he'll maul guys and make sure he gets the right guy, which is super important, especially like those kick out blocks. If you don't get the right guy, the kick out block is useless. So he's pretty good at that as well. Let's get to the right corner. We have sitting at 319, 20 pounds, something like that. 6'8", I believe, or 6'7". Number 78, veteran-lated Cornelius Lucas, former Bear, I believe. He's been here for the past 4 seasons now. He came in 2021. Uh, he started a couple games in 2021, looked really good, but he's not. He's never been a full time starter in the NFL. But during his time here, I would say when he had start games, he's been rock solid for the most part. Hasn't given a ton of sacks, hasn't gotten beat a ton. He's just been a really solid offensive lineman, especially in that game versus the Falcons last year. We had to step in last minute for Tall Little Jr. as he lost a lost his child in stillbirth, unfortunately. Prayers out to Leonard once again in his family. Uh, Tough time for a family like that. But yeah, he had to step in, and he stepped in admirably. I think he played better in that game than Charles Leno played at any time during last season. So shout out to Cornelius Lucas for that. I know he had to step in a couple of times in 2020. I think he came in 2020 actually. I'm trying to think about it. Yes, he came in 2020. So couple games in 2020 was solid. Blocking for Antonio Gibson finished in the running game. He's a much better run blocker than me than a pass blocker, but in pass protection, at most of the time, I don't hear too much of a piece from Cornelius. So I think he's a guy that is going to get a chance to be a full time starter for the first time in his career. And I know a lot of Commanders fans aren't comfortable with him starting, which I completely understand that because he never has started full time before. But it's the first time for everything. If you have him start or you have Coleman start, both of these guys have never been a full time left tackle at the NFL level as a starting capacity. So either way, you're going to have a first. So it is what it is. Pros with Cornelius is a solid pass blocker. Very peeps out of him. When he does struggle, he does struggle. But when he's rock solid, he is rock solid. There's just slight inconsistencies to his game, especially with his footwork and things of that nature. But overall, he's a really great swing tackle, and I think he has earned a chance to fight for a starting job here in Washington. So I think it's going to be a very interesting battle between these two. I'm going to lean toward Brandon Coleman. They did spend a third round pick on this young man, so I would think they want him to play immediately. When you spend a top 100 pick on a player, most of the time they want that player to play immediately and get immediate dividends on said rookie contract. And with his RAS scores being so high, and him being such an athletic offensive lineman, I think that gives him a slight edge over Cornelius Lucas right now. But also Cornelius Lucas has another edge that Brandon Coleman doesn't. He's played left tackle in the NFL. Even though he hasn't been a starter full time, he has started in the NFL. He has started games. He has looked good at times. He looked kind of abysmal at times, but more times than not, he's actually at least been solid. So uh, I'm gonna lean toward Brandon Coleman because of the draft status, things of that nature, and also with the advantage athletically, but also Cornelius Lucas does have the one advantage, which is experience. This will be a very interesting battle. I want to see how this goes. I think they'll split the reps evenly during camp, and hopefully that the best man win. I'm gonna lean toward Brandon Coleman right now, but I would not be shocked if Cornelius Lucas is our starting left tackle week one as we face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time. And I'd be shocked if it's Cornelius Lucas being the starter. Nor I'll be shocked if it is Brandon Coleman. Either way, I am fine with either one of these guys starting. I'm not Team Coleman or Team Lucas. I like C. Luke. I think he's really solid. And I like Brandon Coleman's athletic profile. I think that's something that can translate to the next level. And if he could put the fundamentals along with the athleticism, you might have a hell of a left tackle here in Brandon Coleman. And I said, if Cornelius Lucas can win this battle and put a nice string of 17 games together, he might get a nice little payday from Washington in the offseason and be at least a temporary fix at the starting left tackle position for the Washington Commanders. So who are you picking here? Like, comment, subscribe to the Life of Tone channel for story times and vlogs and stuff like that. Subscribe to Live Fashion channel for fashion tips and men's streetwear fashion uh, stuff. So next time.